Select this one first, so one column first, and what we're going to do is create a text module, drag it in there like that, change it to services, set it to heading 2 like that, and then I might add some spacing above that to that row, so maybe 75 again. And then the next section that we're going to do is click on done, come back over here, we're going to drop in 3 rows. So on the left here, rows, we're going to select 3 and drag it below services like that. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Then what we're going to do is add in the featured module, so drop that in like that. And I'm going to come back over here and just copy over some of that lorem ipsum text, web design. So let's come back over here. So for the feature title, this can be like the services that you offer. So web design, paste that in, and we're going to scroll down. For the layout, we can change it, but I'm going to keep it as default. I'm going to sort of remove that circle because personally I don't really like it, and remove the stroke as well as the color. And then we're going to scroll down over here and you can change the icon. So you can click on the icon and then we can search for desktop. So this is maybe something to do with web design. So find an icon that relates to your title. You can also upload your own image as well. Then once you've done that, then we can simply you can link it to your specific page as well, but we don't have any links at the moment. Now we can simply just duplicate the module 2 times like that and drag it into the respective sections. So here what we're going to do is we're going to go to the styling, and then we're going to go to font, and we're going to make sure we aligned everything in the center first. And maybe let's add some padding to the bottom, 75 like that. So what we can do now is, what I recommend is maybe adding some sort of divider background to it. So since we're here, we can go to the background, and instead of image, we can put in background color. So what I recommend is a light gray, so F6, 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 and that can really separate your content area. So let's refer back to the top module again over here. We do want to add some spacing over here, so make sure everything's even, just like that. Should be pretty simple to do. So whenever you have trouble, then you can zoom out and you can look at your sort of page from a bird's eye view, and that way you can sort of adjust it to what you need it to do. So what you can do is obviously just click into that and maybe change it to, whatever service you offer, and change the icon as well. That is done. The next section, we're going to add in our gallery. So we can just duplicate the text module over here, and let's just zoom back into maybe 75%. So here we can add in a new row. So over here, we're just going to add 1, and then we can drag this and drop it into here like that. And let's just change the title. So gallery. So this could be like your work, your portfolio, doesn't really matter. We can also align it into the center over here as well if you do want to. So we can also add some spacing, so 75. And then we can drop in a gallery module. So click on done. And over here, you can drag in like an image module, maybe a gallery. You can also use, let's say, video, as well as a slider as well to display your sort of work. So we're going to use a gallery module. So drag that in and put it below. And I'm going to select my images. So I'm going to use, let's say, this one over here, gallery 5. And I've already cropped these ones for you to about 1,600. So generally that's a pretty good size, and I recommend cropping them to the same size if you do want to sort of upload a gallery. So we're going to select this one over here, and I think this one over here, and then maybe this one and this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images. Click on add to gallery, and then click on update gallery, and that's going to show our images. So what I want to do is I want to change the columns to maybe 3 because I've only got 6 images. So let's change it to 3, and that's displaying good. So the only thing I want to change is the thumbnail width and also the thumbnail height. So if we go back to the gallery, and if you notice that I've uploaded as 1000 in width and 600 in height. So what I want to do is halve it. So that will be 500 and that will be 300. And then what we could do here is change the thumbnail width. So I don't want it to be, let's say 300 and 200. I want it to be 500 and also 300. So that's going to ensure that the quality of the images is retained because it's cropped sort of proportionally to how I resized it. So let's say if you upload the image to be 800 and maybe 600 or something like that, then you still want to halve it, so it'll be 400 and 300. Okay, so let's scroll down and that's done. Let's add some extra padding onto that as well if you do need to. So that's all good. And let's add some over here on the top if you can. So accidentally added the sort of the top margin over here, so I do want to click on this one and click on styling, and I think I accidentally added to the margin on the top, so maybe let's just remove that anyway, like that. Okay, so I think that's done. Now the next section is we're going to add the video. So this is really great because you can put in a video here, and you can also do a sort of really nice parallax on the background to showcase your work. Let's go back over here, and this is just one column as well, so click on that, and we can add in a background first. So click on styling, background, image, and select background image, and we're going to select this one over here. So for video background section, and then insert, and then that's done. So here we're going to select the background type to be parallax scrolling, and then we're going to stretch the image a tad to maybe, let's say 50 or 75 again. So same for the bottom, 50. Then once you've done that, then all you need to do is click on done and drag in a video module. So for example, we can just grab the video, drop it in there, and then we can paste in the YouTube URL. So we're going to paste in this one over here. So I'm just going to grab the URL. So copy that. You can also click on share and grab the URL as well. Let's go and paste that into here, just like that, and then we've got the video. And sometimes when you upload a video, sometimes you have different thumbnails, right? Because when you upload to YouTube, you want to create a thumbnail that stands out, and a lot of times people add text over it. And if you do want to cover over that, which I do recommend, is clicking on overlay image and clicking on select, and then you can overlay it with your own sort of background image. So for example, I might overlay it with the same one like that, and click on it, and I think that just looks really a lot better, right? So you can overlay it with a nicer image, and it's going to look a lot more cleaner and professional, so it suits and blends in with your website design. So what we're going to do is click on done, and I want to create sort of a background overlay. So I want to go to styling and row overlay. So here I'm going to select a black, so it covers that, and then I want to drop the opacity down to maybe, let's say 0.5, like that, so it's a little bit darker, right? Because you don't want it to be that colorful. Like if you leave it like that, it's just too much. Let's do it 0.5, and then we can also set a hover overlay. So click on that, let's drag that back to black, and maybe let's drag that down a tad to 0.8. So let's click on done, and we're going to click on save and close it. So scrolling down to our video section, so let's say when we hover over it, or when someone is viewing that video, then it sort of creates a cinematic effect, which I think is really nice. And when they click on the video and they click on play, then they can view it like that. Okay, so that looks really nice, and we've done the video section.